capture, sorting, and processing of these materials.
The truckloads of recyclable materials that we collect are converted into reusable commodities. This is done by taking the materials and sorting them into pure material units. From there, they are shipped to manufacturers and made into new products. At Right-Away Disposal, we feel that we play an important role in the recycling process, but we know that the most important part of recycling is you.
You may think that recycling starts the moment you decide to place an item in the recycling bin, but it doesn't. It starts here in the store. As a consumer, you choose items that you want to buy and use. Being able to identify items that are recyclable or packaged in recycled materials will keep these valuable resources out of landfills and provide them to manufacturers who can reuse them. When you are deciding what to purchase at the store, try to avoid products that overpackage materials, use foam, or will create unneeded waste. It is important that you can identify products packaged with materials that are recyclable. It is also important that you can identify those that are not. Avoiding those products will reduce waste and increase recycling efforts. Shopping with reusable grocery bags will keep unwanted plastic bags out of the waste stream as well. We all use products in our homes every day. When you are ready to discard items you no longer need, how can you tell what is recyclable from what is not? Recyclable materials are easy to identify if you think of them in 4 basic groups: paper, plastic, glass, and metal. Paper items are materials like cereal boxes, newspaper, or magazines. Also telephone books, mixed paper, cardboard, and even junk mail. Plastic items are any plastic container numbered 1 through 7. These are containers such as water bottles, detergent containers, and plastic milk containers. Glass items are glass bottles and jars. The glass can be clear, green, or brown. Metal items are made up of things that you usually consume that come in cans, but they can be made from aluminum, steel, or tin. It is very important that these items be as clean as possible when you recycle them. Remember, the containers may be recyclable, but the materials they contain usually are not. Whenever possible, clean, rinse, or take out the leftover materials inside before recycling them. This will help the recycling process down the line.
Right-Away Disposal does a lot to help you with your recycling. Recycling saves your city money by diverting material from landfills. We also provide our clients with curbside containers for your recyclable materials. These are provided to make recycling easy for you and easy for us to collect materials. In addition, we also provide multiple family recycling bins and local drop-off collection sites for apartments or areas that do not have regular curbside pickup. Right-Away Disposal has a fleet of vehicles that pick up recyclables on a weekly basis from curbside containers. These trucks are designed specifically to lift the materials out of the containers and compact them in the truck. Compacting increases the amount of material that the truck can hold. They may look just like regular garbage trucks, but a recycling vehicle's cargo is far more valuable. When the recycling truck has filled its hold, it is driven to the MRF to unload its contents. The trucks are first weighed to determine how much material is inside the vehicle. Once it has been weighed, the truck proceeds to the tipping floor and dumps its contents onto the floor. Other dump trucks from the city will also bring their loads here with materials picked up from the community drop sites or private companies. Once dumped onto the floor, the materials are pushed by a bulldozer to a conveyor belt where the sorting process begins. The process is called single stream recycling. This means that all recycled materials, paper, plastic, glass, and metal, are brought to the facility, mixed together in a single stream, and then separated into groups to be bundled and sent out for reuse. It is critical to sort these materials effectively and efficiently. The value of recycled materials is highest when the material is at its most pure or free from other product types or contaminants. A MRF usually contains a highly automated series of conveyors and sorting stations to separate glass, aluminum, steel, different types of plastics, and different forms of paper and cardboard into single product types. Each MRF sorts material differently, but in this case, any non-recyclable items are identified first and hand-picked out of the sort. They are diverted and sent to a landfill. The stream of material then moves through a V-screen separator.
The V-screen is made up of a series of fast-moving rotors that separate out the newspaper, cardboard, and other paper items, allowing the plastic, glass, and metal to pass through to the next stage. Once separated, the paper can be baled and prepared to ship out for reprocessing. Metal items are picked up using a two-stage metal recovery system. First, a series of magnets attract the ferrous metals containing iron, steel, and tin. Since aluminum isn't magnetic, it is separated using an eddy current rotor. Eddy currents create strong fields of energy around non-magnetic metal. This causes the aluminum items to shoot away from the rotor and onto a separate area to be baled. Plastic items are separated into two stages. Since most of the plastic is lighter than the remaining glass, directed blasts of air are used to push the plastic away and onto another belt. The remaining plastic is separated from the glass by hand. The separated paper, cardboard, plastic, and metals are all compacted in a giant press before they are baled. The large bales are inspected for loose materials before being moved to a loading area for pickup. Glass is the only material recovered at the MRF that does not get compacted and baled, and is the last remaining product to be sorted out. The paper, plastic, and metals have all been removed. In the last stage of the sorting process, the glass is hand-sorted into color categories. Green, brown, and clear glass are hand-separated into their respective colors and crushed. The broken chips fall into piles that can be scooped up and shipped to manufacturers. The sorted paper, plastic, glass, and metal will all need cleaning and refining before they are used again. The paper will be treated in a mill to remove inks and contaminants, finely shredded and then reduced to pulp. It can then be used to create new paper products, insulation, or building materials. The metals are sent to a smelter where they are melted down into bars or ingots. These bars are shipped to manufacturers, remelted, and placed into molds to create new products like cans, office supplies, even car and airplane parts. There are different types of plastics and all can be recycled. The most common type is number 1, or PET. Plastic materials made of PET are shredded into flakes. In some cases, the flakes can be cleaned and made into new products. The plastic flakes are melted down and molded into new products like new bottles and lawn furniture, or spun into fibers that can be made into carpeting or even clothing like fleece jackets and outer apparel. Although household recycled materials are often reprocessed domestically, many are transported to manufacturers in countries overseas. Manufacturers of all kinds use our recycled materials to make new products, many of which are shipped back to North America where they can be used and recycled again. It is just another reason why recycling makes so much sense economically. Now that you know more about how recycling can make a difference to you, your community, and the world as a whole, remember to look carefully at the things you buy at the store. Before you take a product home, think about where it is going to end up once you are done using it. Is the item recyclable? If it is, how can you help make sure that it is separated easily in a single stream recycling process? And how can you make sure that it will not contaminate other recyclable materials? We hope that you will help and do your part.
With help from your recycling efforts, Right Away Disposal helped process and recycle over 400,000 tons of materials in the last year. That is paper, plastic, glass, and metal that would have wound up in landfills and never used again. Without the recyclables collected by Right Away Disposal, manufacturers would have used raw materials to make their products. In total, we helped in saving more than 2.5 million trees, over 2 million barrels of oil, and 2.5 million cubic yards of landfill space.
Now that you've seen what happens to your recovered materials after you place them in the recycling bin, we hope that you'll be even more active in your recycling efforts. By recycling wisely, you'll help yourself and your city create a cleaner and better community.
At Right Away Disposal, we're happy to do our part as well. We think that by working together, recycling can make the world a better place.